Hi, welcome back to Tiny Things, where we dig up small stories that hold big meaning. Okay, here's a question. What did mornings look like before alarm clocks, cappuccinos, or commutes? Long before we had 9 to 5 jobs and digital planners, the ancient Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans had their own morning rituals. Some were surprisingly familiar, and others completely bizarre. Let's step back a few thousand years and explore the morning habits of ancient civilizations. We begin in Egypt, over 3,000 years ago. For ancient Egyptians, mornings were deeply spiritual. They didn't just wake up, they rejoined the world of the living. Each morning, the rising sun was seen as the rebirth of Ra, the sun god. So, waking up wasn't a routine, it was a sacred event. Egyptian priests were often up before dawn. They bathed not just to clean, but to purify themselves. Cleanliness wasn't just hygiene, it was part of preparing the body for worship. Even ordinary Egyptians would start the day with a rinse in the Nile or by pouring water over themselves from clay jars. Breakfast was usually simple: bread, dates, and beer. And yeah, beer in the morning. But it wasn't like today's beer. It was thick, nutritious, and full of calories, almost like a liquid loaf of bread. And if you were wealthy, you might start the day with servants rubbing perfumed oils into your skin. Imagine that. Your morning skincare routine, ancient edition. Next, we move to Greece, the land of philosophers, warriors, and the Olympic spirit. In ancient Athens, the day began early. The Greeks valued the cool morning hours for thinking, exercising, and doing business. Many started the day with a light wash and a small meal, usually bread dipped in wine or some olives and cheese. No sugar-laden cereal here. Then came exercise. Physical fitness was considered part of moral virtue. Young men trained in gymnasiums, often naked, which is where the word gymnasium actually comes from. It means place to be naked. After that, the real work began: public discussions, philosophy, teaching, and trade. Socrates himself was known to walk the city early in the day, engaging strangers in debate. Morning conversations could get deep. And let's not forget the morning sacrifices, a quick offering to the gods to bless the day, often involving burning a small piece of meat or incense at the family altar. To a Greek, a morning wasn't complete without a nod to the divine and a bit of mental or physical stretching. Finally, to Rome, where order and routine ruled the empire. The Roman day began very early. Writers like Pliny the Elder would wake before sunrise to study or write, using oil lamps if needed. Romans believed in starting strong. The phrase carpe diem means seize the day wasn't just poetry, it was a way of life. The wealthy often had a slave called an cubicularius, a sort of personal morning assistant who helped with bathing and dressing. The typical Roman breakfast was called Xantaculum. It included bread, fruit, and maybe cheese or wine. Simple, fast, and functional. Then came business at the forum, court cases, and public affairs, all usually done before noon. Mornings were for duty, afternoons were for leisure. Even soldiers had strict morning routines: clean their weapons, polish armor, eat, and train. Routine wasn't optional, it was the foundation of Roman power. So, what can we learn from these ancient mornings? They weren't lazy, they weren't random, they were intentional. Whether through ritual, exercise, or discipline, the Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans started their days with purpose. And that's the tiny thing to take away today. How you begin your morning can shape your entire day and maybe your whole life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this peek into the past, hit like, subscribe, and we'll bring you more tiny things with big impact. See you next time.